Hello and welcome. I forgot I didn't actually press the button to put me on the screen. How weird is that? Welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation podcast, guys. This is your Q&A tonight. Lots of comments I can see already in the live chat. Lots of people talking already. You know what? It's interesting, isn't it? We've got a Q&A tonight. Obviously, we'll be talking through your questions and answers. You can see that Dortmund lost today, 2-1. Evening, JD. How you doing? I see that Dortmund lost to Union Berlin today. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm actually, you know what? I'm good, Scotty. How you doing, buddy? I'm actually really peed off today. You know why? Because I've just gone through the Premier League results, Scottish Premier League results from today. I actually picked them all. Should have put some money on it, man. Should have put some money on it. Would have won some money. Evening order. How you doing, buddy? We've got some cute questions and answers, obviously, from you already. So a couple of people already posted on the community post that I put up the other day. Chance to get your questions and answers in tonight. Get your answers discussed by myself and also by the live chat. This is an interesting one. Please don't ban the Union Bears from Aldo. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is about, let me tell you what that's about. Now, apparently, this is what I've read. I don't know, I might be wrong here, but apparently UEFA are set to fine Rangers and sanction Rangers for the pyro display from the other night. Apparently, UEFA are not in favour of pyro displays. They don't like them. And as a result, Rangers are going to suffer. It could even lead to a closure of one of the stands at Ibrox as well for a Europa League game or for a series of Europa League games. So there was people saying, today that, the Union Bears, yes, do bring colour, they do bring loud noise, but if they're going to cost the club money, if they're going to lead to stands being closed down, sanctions from UEFA, then the Union Bears should be banned from the game, banned from the ground. So look, I don't know, it's an interesting, wasn't it? CJNI says, did Malmo get done by UEFA for letting them off every time we held? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Scott said that would be unfair. Now, that is apparently what is been discussed. Now, I can't see I can't see UEFA and I can't see Rangers taking any massive sanction at this moment in time, banning the Union Bears, but it's something that's got to be looked at. It really does need to be looked at. In terms of the Union Bears, hopefully are taking this on board. Hopefully they're listening to what UEFA is saying. Hopefully they're kind of working on the process that if this is going to cost the club money, if this is going to lead to the stands being closed, if this is going to cost the club, then it's not acceptable, then it needs to stop. Now, I fully support the Union Bears in terms of what they do, in terms of, the tifos and the support they give the club. But if they're going to do things that are going to get the club in trouble, then they need to stop, because, look, financially, we can't afford to be paying out a huge amount of money, to UEFA. We haven't got a massive amount of money. And also, if it leads to other fans suffering because the stands are closed. Now, obviously, you've got to remember that if the Union stand where the Union Bears is closed, then there are fans in that stand who have season tickets. So they're therefore going to miss out on getting their tickets for European games, and they're going to miss out on those games. So that is not fair, and it's not fair on the club, it's not fair on the players. It will lead to a much reduced capacity, it will lead to a much reduced financial take as well. So they've really got to do something about this and kind of, stop this. I hope they are, because they do amazing work for supporters with their displays. I mean, their displays are very good. Yeah, I will throw you up a link, mate, don't worry. I'll do you a link shortly when I can get one for you. But yeah, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. The Union Bears are very passionate. They are very pro the club. They do an awful lot for the club in terms of those tifos and everything else. But they've really genuinely got to think about what they're doing. They really do need to consider, if what they're doing is damaging the club financially, if it's damaging the players, support from the stands, then they've really got to look at it. They really do have to look at this. For example. So, look, I'll be honest with you. That's something we do need to do. Yeah, I will do, Scott. No problems. Yeah, we'll have you on this week coming up. I need to quickly double check my rota. These are a bunch of daft wee Neds, says Blue Nose John. Why are we talking about fans, talk about the abysmal performance? Well, because, Brian, it's a story that we are going to talk about the abysmal performances, Brian. But what I'm talking about, Brian, is because this is a story that's broke at the moment, that UEFA are considering fining Rangers, closing one of the stands and sanctioning them for the pyro display of the Union Bears. Owen, think Tav took the huff for getting subbed. He looked shocked, then pissed off, and Butland not happy with Clement's tactics. Aldo, good question. Yeah, that's a good idea. That is actually let them pay the fine. Okay, yeah. So did Tav take the huff? I mean, look, I wouldn't be surprised if Tav was a bit pissed off at being substituted. I mean, he's not used to it, is he? And if he is, it's kind of the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes of games to give him a rest. It's certainly not after the 61st minute. And you know, for someone who is the captain of the team, that is pretty humiliating, getting hooked off after 60 minutes because you're getting ripped apart. So yeah, I think, you know, he is really, I think he will be upset about it. I think he will be fed up with it. I think a lot depends, Aldo, on what happens tomorrow. I think a lot depends on what happens I think a lot happens. A lot, I think, depends on what happens when, you know, when that team is put up tomorrow. You know, if it is that Clement says that, you know, Tav, you're not starting, Tav, you're on the bench, or Tav, you're not even in the squad, then I genuinely can see, you know, him taking a big huff at that because he's not used to being dropped. As for Butland, I think Butland was kind of hinting at the fact that, you know, that he wasn't happy, that he really genuinely wasn't happy at what had happened out there. And I think he, you know, Butland, I suppose, has the fortune, doesn't he, of standing there and being able to see what happens in front of him. And, you know, I think we were overrun. We were massively overrun. And I think one of the things that really got to me from that performance on Thursday night, you know, I didn't obviously see it live. I rewatched the game once I got home from work. Was how easy that we were passed through. The gaps were huge in our midfield, and Lyon just basically ran through us. And it's not the first time this has happened. Now, I know Stevie Clifford asked that question of the manager, and the manager took the huff a little bit and said, well, it's not, that's not fair because you're not talking about the clean sheets and the good performances. But who have we got clean sheets against? I mean, let's look at that. Who have we got the clean sheets, you know, actually against in the league and in the cup? And it's the weak teams. It's the teams that, you know, you'd expect to get clean sheets against. So I think Clement's talking a bit of crap there. You know, we are easy to play against. For top teams, we are easy to play against. I mean, if we go back to the start of the season, okay, clean sheet against Hearts, fair enough, but Hearts are just shocking this season. We obviously got a clean sheet against St Johnstone in the League Cup, but again, St Johnstone are shit. We got a clean sheet against Ross County at home, which was at Hampden, but Ross County are shit. We got a clean sheet against Dundee United, okay, who are not very good. We got a clean sheet against Dundee, who are not very good. We got a clean sheet against Malmo, who are not very good. And we got a clean sheet against Hibs, who are not very good. Now, if you look at the games that, you know, where we've played a big team, a team with, you know, some talent in them, Lyon, we concede 4 goals. Celtic, we concede 3 goals. Dynamo Kiev, we concede 2 goals. And Dynamo Kiev aren't even that good, to be honest with you. You know, so I think Clement is a bit disingenuous when he talks like that, because I'll be honest with you, he isn't. He can say all he wants that it's not fair to say that we're easily passed through and the formation doesn't work, because it doesn't. It quite clearly doesn't, because if you play against a decent team, we are conceding goals and we're being passed through really easily. And it's not just this season. Look at how easy Celtic are getting through us as well. So that's something worth looking at. Yeah, it was absolutely. JD says, if Czerny scores and Barron didn't misplace that pass, they were shaky to start with. Our missed chances and mistakes gave them confidence, and the larger talent grew from it. Very true. Yes, they did, Aldo, but not just Tav. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's fair to just blame Tav. They all were absolutely useless, if I'm being honest with you. RC72 says, it's not just Lyon, though. It's actually County, Motherwell, Dundee. As well as they cut through us with ease, they're just lucky they don't have the quality to punish all the time. I mean, that's a point. You know, I think the thing that you need to look at is that as a team, you know, we play against poor teams in Scotland. We play against very poor teams in Scotland. We play against Ross County. We play against St Johnstone. We play against Livy last season before they got relegated. We play against Dundee, against Hibs. And they're bad teams. They're not good teams. And they do miss an awful lot of chances. But But, like I said, when we come up against good teams, and as Butland says, perhaps we do need a different approach to things, a change of formation, a change of shape, or a change of something to get the best out of these players. Now, this is a good point from John here. John says the day we get a clean sheet against the other mob, then he can talk. Very true. The day we go up against Celtic, beat them 1-0, 2-0, whatever, then yes, you can come out and talk, Philippe. Yes, you can come out and say what you want in that circumstance. So, look, I'll be honest with you. He's got to be Clement. I think needs to start to be a bit more careful with what he's saying, the comments that he's making, and I think at times he's looking very deluded, and that's not good, is it? Really? Janet says Cheney looks out of his depth in Europe. His bottle goes, mate. He looks out of depth in the league. I can't believe when he spent nearly $5 million on Diamande. The guy's bang average. I don't agree with that. Worse than average. Not often we get a clean sheet against them. Very true. Right, some questions. Well, here's a question that was asked. This is the honest Kaz, who was on the pod the other day. Well, not actually on the pod, was contributing a lot on the live chat. He says, question, are you surprised with Cyriel's attitude to never stop trying? I could have seriously downed. He could have seriously downed tools. That's his question. Am I surprised with Cyriel Dessers' attitude? No, I'm not surprised in a way, because I'll be honest with you. I think, one of the things that Dessers brings as a player is that he does work very hard, and he does try. He does put effort in. He's not a player that shirks, that hides, that gives up, of any of those things. I will say that for him. So I think, this never stopping trying. But there are times, I think, where he could try in a more positive way. I mean, if you look at the situation on against Kiev in the second leg, you can look at the situation on Thursday. He does when he's getting dominated by centre halves, when he is being controlled by centre halves, and I think on Thursday, the Lyon centre halves really ragdolled him. They really did control Cyriel Dessers, and he then goes into this kind of mode, doesn't he, of throwing himself on the floor, of rolling around, of having a right moan up at the referee. And I'd say personally that he does down tools a little bit when things are not going his way. Yes, he does work hard and run around a lot, but like I said on the video yesterday, or was it this morning? I can't remember now. You can probably find, 11. You can probably find a fan that would go out and run around as much as him. I could go out and run around as much as him. I might die of a heart attack after running around for that much time, but because I'm so unfit. But realistically, he does try. He does try. I've said it before. Dessers does get fouled a lot, but he's got the rep now of going down too easy, and refs don't care. That's very true, CJ and I think. It's the whole boy who cried wolf crap, isn't it? The moment you start doing that, the moment you start hitting the deck on a regular basis, that you do kind of lose a bit of credibility with the referee. And you do not get everything given the way that you wanted to. Dessers got bullied off the ball on Thursday. He can bully Ross County defenders, but not top level defenders, says Dominic Morgan. Dominic, this is a point that I've this is the point. Evening, Aldo, how you doing, buddy? How you doing, the sniper? You mean Dessers goes from kind of being shit to being slightly more shit? Okay. But look, I mean, for me, Dessers. He can do it. Look, it's what I've said all along about Cyriel Dessers. If you put Cyriel Dessers in the Rangers team against Ross County, against St Johnstone, you will look. Dessers will score tomorrow. I'll guarantee you, Dessers will score tomorrow. Against Hibs, against Hearts, against Dundee United, against Ross County, he'll score goals. He'll score goals because they're crap teams. They're really crap teams. And like I keep saying on a number of occasions, I think we honestly forget how shit a lot of the teams in Scotland are. With the exception of probably Celtic and Aberdeen this year, everyone else is shit. Everyone else is pretty poor. I mean, you can see how much Killian Hearts have struggled this season. Teams are poor. And I think, Dessers does it against those teams. But you go and look at his record against top teams. And he doesn't do it against top teams. He didn't do it against PSV last season. He didn't do it against Benfica last season. He doesn't do it against Celtic when it actually matters. He didn't do it against Lyon on Thursday night.
The moment he comes up against a decent team with some decent defenders, he just can't do it because he hasn't got the talent and the ability to do it. I'll be honest with you. Dessers is what I used to play cricket when I was a kid, and Dessers is what's called a flat track bully. That's what he is. He's a flat track bully. Okay, he can do it against crap people and people who aren't as good as him, but he can't do it when he's up against someone who's bigger, better, and stronger than him. Okay, he is the very definition of a flat track bully. And my issue is, and the problem we've got is that he hasn't got the talent and the ability. Dream Crusher, he scored against Celtic when it didn't matter, when the game was done. So I'm going to disregard that one. Dessers is the issue we've got is that Dessers is all we've got. I mean, that's the issue. I mean, Hamza Igman is a kid still learning the game, still coming through. Danilo is just constantly injured all the time. Zach Lovelace doesn't seem to be fancied. So at the moment, Dessers is all we've got. So we are stuck in this cycle where we're going to have to play him. Dessers will score 25 goals, 25 goals in the league this season. I'll guarantee it. Because he'll score all his goals against shit, against Ross County, against St Johnstone, against Hibs, against Dundee United, against Kilmarnock. He'll score against the shit teams. He won't score against the good teams. That's just who he is. That's who he is. If you put Dessers in a green and white hoops, you get 2 pens a game. Only praises I'm giving Dessers is he's always available, and like Tavernier is made of glass. True. Aberdeen would get pumped by Borussia Dortmund. Yeah, they would, Aldo. I think everybody in our league would get pumped by Borussia Dortmund. SPFL, depressing, but please, soccer still try to hype up the league. Yeah, I think the issue we've got, Aldo, is that the league, high key, flat track bully, mate. Bang on point. The issue with Dessers is that he's all we have. It was 2-1 in the first half. Scored v Betis a cracker 2 when it didn't actually matter. Nobody fancied us, and I wouldn't put Betis as a top team. Betis are not a top team, not in Spain. Betis are not a top team in Spain. The top teams in Spain are Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and Girona. They're the top teams in Spain. We missed sitters on Thursday. Score those different game. Agreed. He likes a nutmeg even by accident. Danilo is the new roof. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, JD, against Betis, there was no pressure because nobody expected us to get a result against Betis. Everybody expected us to lose against Betis, right? Because you go away to Spain, you're realistically not going to be expected to get a result, okay? And we got results. The pressure wasn't really on. And also, like I keep saying, Betis are not a top team. How did Betis not matter? I won the group. That one won the group for us. Like I said, Sniper, it's not that it didn't matter. It's more that there was no pressure on him in that game. And Betis are not a top team. Not a top team. JD worked for Brennan Johnson at Spurs. He scored every game since. Hopefully the same for him, but I can't see it, lol. Right. I mean, this is where we're up to. Right. Okay, let's move it along. When do you think PC is going to grow a pair and drop Tav? That is a brilliant question. A very, very good question. Okay. Okay, RC2. Dessers is world class. He's the greatest striker in the world ever. And, we need to build our team around Dessers because he's the most amazing player in the world. For fuck's sake. Okay. When do you think PC is going to grow a pair and drop Tav? Well, I'm hoping on Sunday, mate. I'm hoping on Sunday. I think a lot will depend on what happens on Sunday. I really do think that a lot will happen depending on what happens on Sunday. If Tav starts on Sunday, I think it shows Clement hasn't got a pair of balls. It really does. I think it shows that he's weak-minded, that he has his favourites, that it doesn't matter how bad James Tavernier plays, he will always get picked. My personal opinion, Grant, and everyone else in the live chat, is that Tav will start on Sunday. I genuinely believe that he'll start Tav on Sunday. I don't think he'll drop him. I don't think he's got the balls to drop him. I think he's scared of him. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if in Tav's contract, there's not... I agree with this. He probably will be the first name on the team sheet, wrongly. But I'll be honest with you. I do honestly believe that there is possibly a percentage, something in James Tavernier's contract stating that he has to play a percentage of games, that he has to play a certain number of games. Now, you may think that's ridiculous and that's crazy, but I've got it on good authority that footballers do have it in their contract that they have to play a certain percentage of games. that they have to play, say 80%, 90% of games, or start when they're fit. They have to start a certain percentage. Now that comes from a footballer. That comes from someone who actually has played the game at the highest level, has played for some of the biggest clubs in England. Has actually said that is in contract. So I wouldn't be surprised if in Tav's contract there isn't some sort of terms and conditions saying that he has to play a certain number of games. So that, of course, would say that Clement hasn't really got a choice. But I don't know. Whoever agreed to that contract is clearly a fucking idiot. Clement thinks Dessers is great. He's on the phone to Beale asking his advice about what players to buy. Lol. We start well, but as soon as something goes wrong in a game, Cherney misses the head. Heads go down. Pretty true. Janet, I can't see that happening, unfortunately. Phil's so loopy, I wouldn't put it past him to have planned the 61st minutes Tav sub before the game. What else have we got here? Rangers should have pushed Dessers out the door to Atlanta United in the summer. That was the last chance Saloon to make our money back on him. Blue Nose, correct. I would have sold him. I would have sold him. Tav will be on the bench, says Scott. I certainly hope so, Scott. I certainly hope so. Teams are far better than us. Struggled last season to get a win at Betis last season. Can we stop talking about Betis now? Tav and Cherney jogging back together against Leon says it all. I don't know why it took 4 goals for Clement to fix our right-hand side. Really? Tav, can he be the one? No need. He's captain. Scott, like I said, that comes from someone who played the game. That's coming from someone who played the game. It actually comes, I'll tell you who it comes from. It comes from Ben Foster. That's who it comes from. Ben Foster, former Manchester United and England goalkeeper. He said that he has seen contracts and he's seen top contracts at Manchester United and at other top clubs that state that certain players have to play a certain percentage of games per season. That it's agreed between the agent, the club, and the manager. That is honestly in contract, and that comes from Ben Foster, who is an ex-England, ex-Manchester United goalkeeper. Okay, so that's from Ben Foster. That's not from the Daily Rebel. That's not from from Football Insider. That's not from TeamTalk.com or some dodgy website. That is from an actual footballer who actually played the game. Uraz says Hadji on the 10. I would love to see that with the injury to Lawrence tomorrow. I think that would be fantastic to see Hadji in the 10. Brilliant. Mate, they're both bad. I don't like Cherney, but he passed Tav about 5 times tracking back. Like a hoof clause, lol. Yeah, probably something like that, mate. Something like that. Look, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'd love to see a change of formation tomorrow, but realistically, we're not going to see a change of formation tomorrow, are we? I mean, it's just not going to happen, is it? I mean, as much as we might all sit here and really want to see that change of formation, want to see, different players come in and be given a go, it's just not going to happen at all. The same way, I don't think Hadji will get a game tomorrow. I don't even think Hadji will be in the squad tomorrow, if I'm being honest with you, because I think Clement's made up his mind on him. Clement is a very stubborn manager. He really genuinely is a very stubborn manager. So I honestly can see Hadji not actually featuring at all tomorrow. But, we are going to play 4-2-3-1. I mean, we can all sit here all we want and say we don't want to see 4-2-3-1. We want to see 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 or realistically, we want to see, something like that. But realistically, we're not going to see that. That's just not going to happen, is it, in tomorrow's game? We are going to see a 4-2-3-1. But... let's look at that and let's take with that. Stuart says, what number of games is under Neo's contract? 3. In my opinion, teams should not be put forward for Europa competitions until after the transfer window closes. Decent players left out is because of a stupid rule. Correct. Hopefully he gets an injury like Goldson when he got dropped. Good point, CJ. He can't put a team together for his formation. Never mind. Another. Agreed. Now, I'd like to see this tomorrow. This is what I'd like to see. Now, like I said, given the fact we are going to play 4-2-3-1, okay, I'm going to get to this question from Stuart in a minute. Philippe, I agree with this one. Right, so this is what I'd like to see tomorrow. Butland in goal, back 4, Casanwejo at right back. I thought Casanwejo looked really good when he came on. I thought he looked very good when he came on. He actually led the team forward. He pushed forward. He did very, very well indeed. And I really liked how he played. He brought a bit of impetus. He tracked the runners back. He tackled. He cleared one off the line. And after clearing one off the line, and if you saw it, he was like, come on, get out, come on. He was really trying to push them on. Suter and Proper in central defence. They're good enough to cope with St Johnstone. Kiefte at left back, Dio and Barron as the 2, McCausland, and I want to see Hadji start. Hadji, people say, Hadji's not match fit. He's not match fit. How many B team games and B team training sessions does he need to do before someone says he's going to be match fit? And how do you get match fit? How do you actually get match fit? You get match fit by playing football games. You don't get match fit by sitting on the bench and watching people play football. It's not osmosis. You don't sit there and go, oh, look, he's playing really well. If I really stare at him because he's working really hard, his fitness vibes will infect me and I'll become fit. Okay. So, yeah, I want to see Hadji in the 10 role. Bayrami's, look, the one thing I do agree slightly with Clement on is this, okay? Look, realistically, we haven't got any left wingers at the moment. Cortez, who is also made of glass, is injured. And obviously Matondo's injured. So at the moment, we don't have a left winger. Okay, so Bayrami's kind of got to play there. And Hamza, I want to see Hamza get another go up top tomorrow because according to Clement, Hadji will probably need a month's worth of training. But again, I don't get it, Blue Nose John. He's trained with the B team constantly. He's played for the B team constantly. I genuinely don't get it. Me too, CJ and I. Me too. Get Big Leon back in the team tomorrow. Good shout. I'd love to see Big Leon in there. Play 3-5-2. Says we are the people. Mate, I'd love to, but he ain't going to change the shape as much as we want it. He ain't going to change the shape, mate. Sterling, Casa, Suter, and Kiefte for me. Interesting shout. RFC 72. Can't see him dropping proper, though. I laugh when people say he doesn't have a plan B. I can't see the plan A. Very true. Osmosis laughs. Hadji not being played over a wage increase is pathetic. You can tell he isn't better than Dowell. Mate, seriously, I'm better than Kieran Dowell. We're already minus 14 in the goal difference charts to get 2 strikers on. Again, John, I agree, but he ain't going to change formation. I miss Big Leon as well. I love Big Leon. Big Leon's a top man. But yeah, I mean, realistically, he's going to play 4-2-3-1. He's going to put Hadji in the 10. He's not going to put Hadji. I mean, realistically, I don't think we'll see Hadji in the 10 role. I honestly think he'll start Dowell in the 10 role, which I think is a huge mistake. If I see Kieran Dowell's name on that team sheet tomorrow when it's released, I will go fucking mental. I will absolutely lose my shit. Big style, And I'm somebody who has supported Clement all through. Go back and watch the videos. You can see I've supported Clement all through this. And he now is starting to grind my gears and actually do my head in. So I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to lose my temper with him and lose my patience with him with the way he is behaving at the moment. Thank you, Stephen. Don't worry, as they are working hard in training. Clement and Tav always says that is to be applauded. No, it's to be expected. I agree. You should always work hard in training. We can't say a team we are all we want, but it won't be anywhere near Clement's team. True, agreed. Get Hadji on. Like I said, I would love to see Hadji given a chance to play tomorrow. I really would. And this bollocks about, he's not match fit. He's not match fit. Well, I'm sorry. He's actually played for the B team in matches. And I'll be honest with you. I've read some comments about Yanis Hadji, some really interesting comments about Yanis Hadji. People calling Dream Crusher. I agree with this. He is. I love Leon. Leon's one of my favourite players. I'd love to see Big Leon get a chance again. Brilliant. I mean, could have started greeting the other night when he's seen Dow through, mate. True. Dow, Cherney, and Tav will start 100%. Clement will be too scared to throw them under the bus. I agree, Stuart. We'll see Cherney on the right tomorrow. And he'll probably do all right against St Johnstone because they're not very good. We'll see Tav at right back, I think, probably as well. And we'll probably see Dowell in the 10 role. And like I said, I'll be just like sit there and go, what the fuck? Why? If PC keeps playing Tav, then he will deserve to get the sack, says we are the people. Stuart says, we've got 2 good right backs now. There should be no excuses for playing Tav, except that he's our captain. Mate, you can get anyone to be the captain now. Suter could be the captain. Proper could be the captain. Butland could be the captain. There's a number of players could be the captain. Good evening, Bears. Just after watching something brilliant. Thank you, DL2. Was funny at the game when everyone saw Dow come on out of the tunnel to come on, was just like a huge sigh in unison. Good shout. Front 6, Raskin, Diamande, Kiefte, Bayrami, McCaws, and Igman. Decent shout, Scott. But who do you start on left back? Is that Fraser coming in? Because that ain't going to happen. Yeah, I agree. Airwolf, this is what I want to talk about. He's not bang average. He isn't bang average. And I'm sorry, anyone who thinks, yeah, we will see a confident performance because it's an easy game tomorrow because it's St Johnstone at the end of the day. It's at Ibrox and he's shit and they're shit. I think that's the way we look at it. Right, Hadji's not bang average. everyone who's saying that Hadji's, not a good footballer, he's bang average, he's poor, he's not a good footballer. Go and watch the Euros. Go back and watch the Euros, okay? Go back and watch Hadji play for Romania against Holland, Netherlands, whatever you want to call them. Go and watch him play for Romania, in that European Championships, right? Now, tell me this. If he's such a bad player, why does he get good reviews from analysts watching Romania? And I'm not talking about Romanian ones. I'm talking about British ones. Why do people who watch the game, the Euros, say that he's a good footballer, that he's technically very gifted, that he's got a good eye for a pass, that he's a good player? I don't understand people saying that Hadji's average or he's poor. When you look at the reviews he gets from the Euros and the fact he was one of Romania's best players in the Euros, where you are playing a high standard of football, higher than the standard in the SPL, probably higher than the standard in the Europa League as well. And he's coming out looking like one of the best players. I don't understand that at all. Scott says, Casemiro to left back, Sterling to right back. Decent shout, mate. If you're going to play Kiefte further forward, good shout. Hadji has the football brain to unlock 10 men behind the bus defences. He does. He's got the eye for a pass. And I think that's something, we saw him do for Romania. And this is why I don't get him doing that. Why did no one buy him, Dream Crusher? I don't know why no one bought him. I don't know. I'm not privy to those discussions, mate. It could genuinely be that the price tag that Rangers had on him wasn't met, that Rangers wanted a certain value for him and no club met it. That could be why. I don't know, mate. I don't know why he wasn't. Do you know why he wasn't bought? I don't know that. I don't understand that. Clement should change formation, give the youth a chance. That's how he will win the fans back, but he's not got the ball. I agree, Stuart. He ain't going to do it, mate. He ain't going to go 4-3-3. He ain't going to go 4-4-2, 3-5-2, 3-4-3, 3-4-1-2, whatever combination you talk of. And he ain't going to play the youth players because he just doesn't want to seem to be interested in them. He can sit there and say all he wants. You know what? I'll give youth a chance. I want to see youth play. Ain't happening, mate. 28 goal contributions for us in his last full season. Short memories. Absolutely bluebells. I'm a massive Hadji fan. He's a good footballer. And I honestly believe if you've got Hadji in the 10 role and Bayrami on the left, you've got two very talented players there who can unlock defences. And that's what you need to do when you're playing the likes of St Johnstone, you're playing the likes of Ross County, Dundee United, Hibs, Hearts, who park the bus against us. All do I know, Bud? Never know, though. I hope so, because I'm travelling through. Yeah, absolutely. Our centre-backs are okay at best. Hadji's a decent player, but he's living off his name. Well, he may well be, but he's still a good footballer, and that's the thing. Can't beat the atmosphere, mate. Hope you enjoy a nice evening and it's not pishing down. Obviously, not the game tomorrow. Clement can change the formation or lose his job. The decision is his. Mate, he's never changed his shape or his formation. He's always played the 4-2-3-1. Ask Monaco fans about his stubbornness, because he is very stubborn, guys. He is a very stubborn manager. He ain't going to change from a 4-2-3-1. He's going to play that 4-2-3-1 and stick to his guns until hell freezes over. If I'm being honest with you, that's what's going to happen. We'll see a 4-2-3-1 tomorrow. We'll see it after the international break. We'll see it against Celtic in January. That's what we'll see. 4-2-3-1. That's how he plays. That's the situation. Absolutely. Stuart says Popper isn't much of an upgrade on Davis. I mean, he's not looking the best at the moment, is he? I mean, I'll be honest with you. He isn't looking great at this moment in time. He really genuinely isn't. He's not looking good. He isn't looking good. But I think, again, Stuart, I make this point. Popper's probably good enough for St Johnstone. He's good enough for Ross County. He's good enough against Hibs and Hearts and so on. Tav couldn't handle marking Maida, so why did Clement think he could mark Fofana? Stubbornness will cost him his job. That's a brilliant shout, Stuart. That is a brilliant shout. I mean, it is true. If you can't mark Maida, you're not going to be able to mark Fofana, who's 10 times the player that Maida is. Maida's not even a good player. Not even a good player. Clement should get a dartboard. Right, guys. So tomorrow we will be live, obviously, with a live watch along of the game. So please come and join us for the live watch along in the evening. We'll also do a breaking news team podcast when that comes out as well, so we can obviously be miserable together or happy together, and we'll see what happens. I mean, look, realistically, Celtic are going to probably win tomorrow. They've got Ross County. It'll probably be a cricket score. That's what it is. That's how it'll be. But that's where we're up to, isn't it? How many managers need to be sacked before Tav is dropped? Good shout, Dream Crusher. I don't know, mate. I honestly don't know. Like I said, I think tomorrow will tell the whole story. If Tav starts tomorrow, then I think we've just got to accept that Tav is going to start every game between now and the end of the season. That's the way it is. Primetime says we only went for proper because of the clause in his contract, cheaper and slower than Goldson. I'm fantastic. I'm off to work tomorrow, so we'll join the live chat. Fantastic, Philippe. I'm glad you're off to work because you're picking the team. You're outside on the patio. No, I'm not, mate. I'm actually in the conservatory. It's just there's an external wall there. If we sack Clement, we will need another rebuild. What manager would take it with no money? I'm going to do a video on this, actually, about this rebuild thing and the misconceptions. If you sack a manager, you need a rebuild. If you keep a consistent sporting director or director of football or director of recruitment, you don't need a constant rebuild. I'll talk about that on a video. Right, guys, I will be back tomorrow. Thank you for watching this Q&A. Only a short pod tonight. I've got a few things I need to go and take care of. Thank you for watching. Please, on the way out, please smash the like, drop me a comment in the normal comments, and always as well, please subscribe to the channel to help us grow. Thanks for watching. Guys, as always, we will. Gene Crusher, I'm going to address this sacking managers malarkey. Thank you for watching. Please remember always, we are the people.